I'm a Raider, Oakland Raider. From the Bay to LA to Las Vegas.
Just
I'm
win,
a
baby.
player, a boss player. And if you with me, pop your collar, shake them haters. I'm a Raider, Oakland Raider. From the Bay to LA to Las Vegas. Cause I'm a player, boss player. And if you with me, pop your collar, shake them haters. I'm a Raider.
What's up to all the homies and homettes? We are back again with the Real Raiders podcast. It's Mari Mars, Macanass Mighty, Mariano,
and the one and only Victor Freeze.
Victor Freeza. We got a couple different things going on for you guys today. The first segment we're going to go over is news and notes of the week. The second one is expectations of Gruden and Mayock, right? What do we expect to see? What do we need to see from them to finish out this offseason through the draft, as well as what needs to happen this year during the season. So, Vic, go ahead and hit them with news and notes of the week, segment number 1.
Yeah, so Mariano was looking through the transactions list, and the last transaction was March 25th.
March 25th.
So it's been pretty quiet, but we still have some stuff to talk about. Don't worry, we always got your back. We're on top of it. So the first one is the Colton Miller extension. He got a 3-year extension worth $68.7 million, and this is including the 2 years he has left on his contract already, right? So that's his 4th and 5th year as an option for a rookie. And then it's $18 million per year. Mm-hmm. This year, you said, right?
The last 2 years. Yes. Next year. Mm-hmm. And then it drops to about $12.5 million for the remainder of his contract.
Yeah, so he'll be the 5th highest paid tackle as of right now. Mm-hmm. And, they're doing just like they did with Darren Waller, just like they did with Andre James. They're getting ahead of the curve. And, this deal, hopefully, when it comes time 3 years down the line, he'll just barely be beginning his new contract, this will be a cheap deal compared to all the other left tackles in the league.
Yeah, exactly. So really what they're doing is this year the cap was really hit by COVID, right? Mm-hmm. So that came down because of the expense of the league this year. But the Raiders are working it into the budget this year, right? So they're paying him up front. So in the long run, when the next couple years goes by, they're going to have a ridiculous amount of cap space. I think Vinny Bonsignore said the cap space next year is probably going to be, I think the Raiders are already showing about $60 million. Yeah. $60 million for next year, courtesy of Vinny Bonsignore at Raider Nation Radio. So yeah, I think it was a great signing. I like it. At least we got an anchor now on the left side of the line. And like I've told you guys in the previous episode, I am not freaking out over the offensive line. Not one bit. That's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah, we're only really missing that one piece, which is the right tackle. But we all know Denzel Good could play right tackle. So
exactly.
I think it's easier to swing in a guard in there than it is to swing a tackle, Mm-hmm. So, and the way Tom Cable's been talking about the offensive line and the high hopes he has, he thinks Andre James could fill in. I was going to say Richie and Cucky, though, for
Rodney.
Rodney, there you go.
Yeah, Fuck. That's right. That's what I'm here for. That's right.
He said he could fill in Rodney's shoes. So, Tom Cable has high regard for Andre James. So, Tom Cable's shown what he could do with the ragtag offensive line. So, I got faith in him, for sure. You want to hit him with the next one, Mariano?
Yep. So the next one is that Nevin Lawson went from extended to suspended. Boom. So, yeah, like I said in the previous episode, I don't know why they brought this dude back. He's been suspended for the past 3 consecutive seasons. I hope he's using steroids because you need to get better. You know what I mean? You need to get better. Simple
Straight
as
up.
that. You're getting smoked. I mean, come on, man. So we'll see where it goes. I honestly think, right, this is just my opinion, that when this draft comes around and by the time pick 17 rolls around, if J.C. Horn's on the board, I think the Raiders are going to pick him. And
Mm-hmm.
let's just say, you never know, maybe Patrick Surtain falls, right? They might pick him too. I mean, I know that we need a safety, but we can probably pick one up in the second round.
Yeah.
Ultimately, what I would like the Raiders to do is to pick the best player available. Now, obviously,
We know Gruden doesn't do that.
Gruden does not do that. But a dreamland for me, like ideal situation, would be Micah Parsons.
If he falls,
God.
ooh,
That dude
chomping at the bits.
That dude's an animal, which he might fall because he's had some character issues, right? Yeah. As well as he didn't play in the 2020 season. So, so you're saying there's a chance?
Man, if he's there at 17, I'm jumping all over.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Speaking of 17, 17th game is official this season, and it's going to be against the Bears. So Gruden versus Mack. Who won the trade? I'm still saying we did.
Absolutely.
Khalil Mack, he's an amazing player, but even when he was on our team, he didn't help us win the playoff game. The defense still struggles even with an amazing player on it because you need a whole team full of good players, which is a fact. So Gruden, got the value out of Khalil Mack that he could, and we got Josh Jacobs, we got Jonathan Abram, and was it Arnett or the next year? Ruggs?
Yep.
One of the two.
Ruggs.
Anyways, yeah. But we got a draft haul. This is the future, and maybe the Bears trade Khalil Mack back to us one day.
You never know. You never know. Yeah, someone might be returning to the silver and black. We'll touch on that a little later, though. Ooh. Yeah, so the next one, John Brown, Henry Ruggs, Darren Waller, Foster Moreau. We're seeing getting that work in, right? They did this offseason, and it turned out pretty well. The offense was humming. So whatever they did last offseason, let's kind of duplicate that. And I honestly believe that the Raiders are going to be more dynamic this year on offense.
Especially with the addition of Kenyon Drake, it's just going to open up a whole new dimension.
Kenyon Drake. All of our receivers got speed. We got Snead.
I don't know which direction it's going to go.
Really? John Brown, Henry Ruggs. The only one that don't got wheels, the only two, is Brian Edwards and Hunter Renfrow, but Hunter Renfrow got the wiggles, man.
Yeah,
that boy will wiggle right past you.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. Third and Renfrow, that's my dog.
Third and Renfrow.
So we know a player that has been tied to the Raiders, very tough since before free agency even started, was Richard Sherman, because they had the whole interview with Gruden and Sherman and talking about he needs an alpha whoop-de-whoop, whatever, which we do need that veteran present in the secondary. Richard Sherman was in Vegas, poolside chilling. He's just enjoying relaxing. So the news on him, rose and all these speculations and whatnot. However, Richard Sherman did say that he's not, but Vic Tafur said that Richard Sherman is not going to sign with the team until after the draft, until he knows which teams actually need his services. He wants to go, and still be a contributor to that team. So all the Richard Sherman news has to wait. I know a lot of people were excited. Excuse me. I like the idea of Richard Sherman being on the team, but it's always at the right penny. I'm not going to overpay for Richard Sherman. For what he's done in the past, I want for what he's going to do for me as a veteran and as a leader in this locker room. So, excuse me, sorry. We've been drinking a lot of seltzer water. So that's just a little update on that. I know Richard Sherman was a big talk amongst the nation. So for all of those of you that are interested, that's the news on Richard Sherman.
Yeah, me personally, I'm good on Richard Sherman. I don't need to see him in silver and black. I honestly think that Damon Arnett's gonna be a dog. That's just my personal opinion. A lot of people are forgetting that he was injured. This fool was playing with a broken wrist.
And no offseason.
And no offseason. I mean, we're not here to make excuses for him, but I think that we haven't even seen the true Damon Arnett yet. So we'll see how that goes.
Definitely. I got faith in Arnett too.
Yup.
And then you want to hit him with the last one, Mariano?
Yeah, last one is that Karl Joseph is visiting the Raiders, right? How you feel about Karl Joseph coming?
I loved Karl Joseph when he was with us. I wish we would have picked up his 5th-year option. I liked him. Unfortunately, his prove-it season with us came short. That's why we didn't pick up the 5th year, right? He ended up getting hurt on was it against the Chargers or something? It's that, you remember that they put the clip where Derek Carr's on the sideline watching Karl Joseph make like the last game-winning play. Yeah. Anyways, on that game-winning play, he got hurt, unfortunately, and we didn't get the 5th-year extension. I was hoping we'd keep him. I like Karl Joseph. It'd be amazing to have him. It's better than Eric, I'm a liability Harris.
Right.
So
100%. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Is that like it's a catch-22 for me. The first thing is that he's undersized, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we got to try to cover Travis Kelce 2 weeks out of the year. Not to mention tight ends are becoming more and more dynamic throughout the league. He just does not have the size, but he'll lay the wood.
yeah.
So I was going to say, before you stole my thunder, right, that I would much rather have him instead of Eric Harris.
Yeah.
At least he's got true speed. He can cover, he's rangy, and he can come down and lay some wood. All right, Vic. So we're on... Or you got something to touch on?
No, I was just checking to see if Malik Hooker's still available, which he is. Mm-hmm. So if
I like it.
There's no news
Hooker,
on him though. Yeah, I would ideally he would be who we would put back there, but
he's just injury prone. Man.
Yeah,
that's the toughest thing.
Mm-hmm.
He was born in &96.
Damn, hell yeah.
Damn, he's making us feel old, bro. Man.
Raider Nation, Victor Freeze here. Just want to give you a quick update. When we were filming this, Karl Joseph was visiting. However, the following day, he did actually sign with the Raiders, and that's a great addition to our secondary. Just want to make sure you guys are 100% completely updated. All right, now back to the show.
All right, so we are on to segment number 2. Mm-hmm. So, Vic, hit me with your expectations of Gruden. First, let's start with Gruden, and then we'll carry on to Mayock.
Yeah, so I was talking to you earlier about this, right? So there's this lore, right, of Gruden, mm-hmm. right? Since he left the Raiders, he's the savior of the Raiders, right? He'll bring us to the promised land.
Man. Yeah,
I understand the legacy and the greatness that is Chucky. He took us to the playoffs and everything. But the fact of the matter is, he won the Super Bowl with Tampa Bay, right? Mm-hmm. I understand what he's done for our franchise and everything. So, what are the expectations for Gruden, right? This is year 4, right? Mm-hmm. This will be year 3 with Mayock, right? First year was with Reggie. So, what are we expecting from Jon Gruden this year? Are we gonna, if he hasn't a 9-8 season this time? Mm-hmm. If he has a 9-8 season, are we letting him slide? Is it still gonna be, as long as he's improving? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Or is it gonna be he has to get us into the playoffs this season? So how do you feel on that?
Well, I got a follow-up question, right? Mm-hmm. Are you trying to put me in place of the owner? Are you
as Mark Davis and
so I should speak from Mark Davis's point of view?
That's a good question. As a fan or as Mark Davis?
Right.
How would we as an owner. As the owner, as the NFL operates.
Okay.
You know how
right.
the leashes are and whatnot.
Okay. First of all, they got matching haircuts. Right? That's first of all. The leash is extremely long on Jon Gruden. Mm-hmm. Mark Davis gave him a 10-year contract for a reason, right? Mark Davis he's seen the turmoil that's come with the team over the past 2 decades, right? He's seen it. He's been, if not the driver and the passenger of a witness to everything that's gone on and everything that's happened. Mm. So from Mark Davis' point of view, you got all the time in the world. He ain't worried about the money. He ain't worried about the $10 million. This dude loves Jon Gruden. Mm-hmm. Hands down. That's not going to happen.
Is it the lore that he brings, you know what I'm saying, that he's in love with?
I think
or is
Mark
it like
Davis has
the actual productivity?
That's his fucking secret admirer. Like, honestly, dude, he loves him. He loves Jon Gruden. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if the Raiders only make the playoffs 2 out of the 10 years that he's been at the team, and Mark Davis would probably extend him. Honestly, 100%, bro. 100%. That's just my personal opinion. So I don't think that the leash is very short for Jon Gruden at all, from Mark Davis's point of view. Now, from a fan's point of view, we have to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
I mean, here's one thing that could possibly happen is if Jon Gruden continues to have these losing seasons, he's going to start to get pressure from the fan base, or Mark Davis, I should say, will start to get pressure from the fan base. Mm-hmm. And that's when it could heat up, and it would have to be really bad. I mean, so far, Jon Gruden hasn't taken a step back as far as his record goes.
Yeah, but
he's improved.
He's
improved.
One win from last year to this year, right?
Right, but how many years do we have a fucking 2-14 season?
Hella years.
Right?
Hella 4-12s.
4-12s, right?
Yeah.
We had the Robert Gallery pick. We had Jamarcus Russell pick. We've had so many, and Mark Davis hasn't forgot about that either. You know? So that's just my point of view from a fan. He's got to make the playoffs. I don't think that the leash is very short. That's just my opinion. What do you think?
Yeah, that's what I was alluding to with the whole allure of it. Is that the Mark Davis is in love basically with Jon Gruden.
He's infatuated.
And he could very well finish out the 10-year contract going to the playoffs once, and Mark Davis will be totally fine with that. As a fan, though, I don't like that. Generally speaking, you know, you want more out of your coach.
Yeah.
That you're paying them $10 million a year to hit the playoffs once. You know what I'm saying? You know, I like the improvement year to year, but I think definitely as a fan this year is playoffs. And then, or if you...
Okay, so if they go 9-8 this year and make the playoffs, are you happy?
Yeah, I'll be happy. We're in the playoffs, yeah. But if it's if it's 9-8, right? Like, what am I okay with him just upping us one more? Are you gonna get us to the next year finally? There, you get what I'm saying? Like, how long am I? It's been 4 years. You get what I'm saying?
Right. No. I completely.
I would have graduated high school by now. I would have had a degree.
That's
you get
true.
what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, that's 100% true. Okay, so Gruden. So okay, how many more years do you give Gruden?
Honestly, I want
2,
results.
3?
Results. I wanted results this year, so I give him.
So if you
at most 2, bro, I'll give him at most 2.
Okay, so
that's it.
If you were Mark Davis, right, you would give him 2 years. Is what you're saying?
As Mark Davis, I know Mark Davis is in love though with Jon Gruden. So,
but still, if you're Mark Davis though, is it this year or you're fired?
So this year, as I think generally speaking, as Mark Davis, if I was Mark Davis, it'd be the same thing. This year, if you improve, cool. You have that breathing room to get to the playoffs the year following. But if you regress and then you start off like losing 3-4 games, and bruh, like, you know, we gotta, you get what I'm saying?
Right. So 2 years basically. You give him 2 years if you're Mark Davis. Yeah. No, I agree with that.
But we know, we're thinking as a regular owner though, we know the infatuation that Mark Davis does have with Jon Gruden. So it's it's like the way we're thinking as owners is not really how Mark Davis is gonna think as an owner.
Oh no,
you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely not. Like I said, he's not worried about the money. He just built a $1 billion stadium. The money's gonna be pouring in.
And another factor that, as a fan, that gets me worried is the draft, the reaching on the draft prospects, right? Cleveland Farrell, obvious reach at number 4. Arnett.
That's debatable.
The media and fans wide have they not stated that, you know, there was other players available. Farrell was a late round, right, prospect, early second probably. But you know, that's another thing. Like, people are questioning. We obviously stated earlier he's not going to go for best player available, right? We know that's not a Gruden thing,
right?
So as a fan, how does that? You get what I'm saying?
No. I gotcha. It's still very early in all these young. These players are young.
Yeah, definitely.
Right.
And
I mean, look at Jerry Rice's first year. He had a ton of drop balls, and I mean, you got to give these players time, but also at the same time, it can't be so, I don't know. I don't want to say judgmental, but I mean, you can't just write a player off of as a bust after 2 seasons. Yeah. Right? Just like Cleve Farrell.
Yeah, no, I definitely.
He's played 2 full seasons, man.
He's been improving too. I like his improvements so far. Yeah. Definitely.
He's solid against the run. When we didn't have him this past season,
We lost those
We
games.
could not set the edge. I don't know if you guys like really pay attention to football or you just watch the ball every
Those wide
play.
outside runs every fucking time. We're hitting, bro.
Another thing too is that's why I was telling Vic I got a good feeling this year, and I know I'll probably say this every year, mind you, right? But Gus Bradley, man, if you look at the scheme that how the Raiders were playing, the Raiders were crashing down almost every other play, right? You would see Max Crosby crashing into the C gap every other play. Even on run plays, what happens when you crash the C gap when you're all the way on the edge?
Leave the outside just
Exactly.
wide open.
You leave the outside exposed.
I know that as a defensive lineman.
Right? Exactly. So, I think Paul Guenther he didn't have the wherewithal that Bradley does. And that's kind of where I'm at on the defense.
Yeah, so I definitely do have faith in Gus Bradley and what he can produce out of our players. As you were talking about earlier, it is young. Some of these players are still young in the Mayock and Gruden regime. So let's talk about those players. We know, Gruden did have a draft with McKenzie as well, but also far as Colton Miller, Brandon Parker, and Maurice Hurst, or as what's left, I believe, from that draft. Colton got extended. Maurice is our starting D tackle, hopefully. I don't know. They hate him sometimes. I don't know what they do with the snaps. And then Brandon Parker is just a depth piece at this point. So let's talk about what are the expectations for the last two draft classes going into year 2 and 3, respectively.
I think Henry Ruggs obviously has to step up. So far, the only home run has been Josh Jacobs with 2 back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons. You guys know how I feel about Damon Arnett from earlier in this episode. I think he is a dog. He's a dog, man. Just wait. As far as Jonathan Abram, he's got a lot of room to grow. He has the physical ability to get the job done.
Just has to be more disciplined, bro.
Yeah, and that comes with time, man. That comes with age. You know what I mean? No matter what you do, the first time you were to go professional and start making money for whatever it is that you do, you're not going to be, unless you're an anomaly, right? You're not going to be the fucking best thing that's walking.
Yeah.
So Jonathan Abram has all the physical tools to be one of the top safeties in the league. I think he's got the hard nose for it. That's one. He's got the speed. He's got the power. And he's been grinding this offseason. You follow him on Instagram?
I've been seeing him put in that work. I've been seeing the workout videos.
He puts in work, man. He puts in work. And not to mention, last offseason, he was dealing with his shoulder problems that he had.
Yeah.
So, Damon Arnett, Jonathan Abram, we'll see how they turn out this year, right?
Yeah.
Cleve Farrell, I think he's a hell of a player already. He just needs to work on the pass rush a little more, right? Hunter Renfrow is a home run hitter. Home run hitter.
That's my dog.
So all in all, I think Mayock has done an exceptional job. That's just my opinion. And we don't know. These draft analysis guys, they can all put their 2 cents in and say that the Raiders reach, but what the hell do they know?
That's true.
What do they know? Honestly.
I've watched a countless number of videos on YouTube of, the draft experts is what they call it. Saying, oh, this guy not going to be nothing, or oh, they're reaching here, or they're, they've been wrong countless numbers of time, or like this is a can't miss prospect, things of that nature.
Right. Well, like even let's say Russell Wilson, for instance, right? Russell Wilson was drafted in the 3rd round. What if, let's say hypothetically, the year that they drafted him, the Seahawks took him in the 1st? What would they be saying? You reached.
Yeah.
He should have been way lower than that, right? But he turns into a Super Bowl winning quarterback. So we just gotta let these things play out, man. Be patient. Be a little patient, a little more patient, and we'll be able to see what happens in the future.
Yeah, that's true. From the from the first Gruden Mayock Regime draft class, which is the Renfro, Cleveland Farrell, Abram, Jacobs class. You know, they're going into year 3, so I expect more from them definitely than the draft class that is going into year 2. The only player I'm expecting a lot of things from is Ruggs from year 2, really, because we definitely need him to step up and take that leadership in the wide receiver room, because, you know, other than him, John Brown has never been put in that wide receiver 1 position, you know.
Right.
Edwards is a young receiver too. Hunter Renfro, he's a slot receiver, not that wide receiver number 1. So, you know, you're young, but you got to take control of that room and make it yours. You know what I'm saying? So,
yep.
Aside from the other players going into year 2, I still feel, you know, they do have room to grow, like you're talking about. A lot of people, you know, draft experts, media analysts, whatever, stated that this last draft class we had was horrible. So, and it's still a young draft class. So,
yeah,
I definitely agree with you, Mariano. The players going into year 3, definitely we expect more out of them on my end. I don't know if you agree with that.
Yeah, I agree. Year 3 is the year to make. And
then year 2, they have, you know,
strides.
more room to grow and more room to make mistakes and things of that nature. And then Jonathan Abram, he's barely going into year 2, so he's like another year 2 player because he basically didn't play his first year.
Yeah.
He did have that off season and stuff to learn, so that's good. But I still think, you know, you're right on your take on these draft classes still have room to grow.
Right, 100%, man. I mean, they're young players. Really, what they got to make progress on are these free agency signings.
Got a lot of bad free agency signings.
a lot. The year, I mean, they were talking about if we would have signed Khalil Mack, we wouldn't have had all these 8 other players that aren't even on the team no more.
Tyrell, AB, Trent. You know,
Tyrell, AB, Trent, and then also, who was that other dude? Joyner.
Oh, Joyner.
Joyner too. He ain't on the team, and now he's playing safety.
Yeah.
You know. So
that's, you know, this incoming free agency class that we have right now, it looks pretty solid. It looks, you know, Yannick and Kenyon highlighted.
Well, they're all young. You notice that? Like, they're not at the back half of their career.
No Gruden players, no a bunch of veterans.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's good. It's looking... I have hopes for this free agency class that we do bring in, that they are actually productive and click with our team, especially now that we have a new defensive coordinator. We'll see where that goes.
Yep.
I think that's it. Any other notes on the expectations with the Gruden Mayock regime?
No. I've already covered. I think Mayock has done an exceptional job.
Yeah.
And I think he's going to continue to. That dude's a grinder, man.
Definitely. Yeah, I like what they're doing so far. You know, as a fan, you know, we want to see playoffs quickly, like I stated earlier. I wanted playoffs this season, you know. Hopefully we reach the playoffs this season, and like you said, the addition of Gus Bradley is huge towards those hopes. So we'll see how that goes, man. I think the future's looking bright. Definitely.
Oh man, I can't wait for the draft. I cannot wait. I will watch the whole draft. Literally. I will literally sit down in front of the TV and watch the whole draft.
That motherfucker long too.
Yes it is, bro. Yes it is.
But yeah, man, I think that wraps it up for our second segment. So that wraps it up for this episode of the Real Raiders podcast, man.
That's right.
It's been a pleasure. And this last, what was it? We've been off since like the 28th, right?
2 weeks, yeah.
We've been off for like 2 weeks, and these last 2 weeks has been like booming the page and everything, all the interactions and stuff. It's been so dope. Me and Mariano have been like texting each other about it, juiced and stuff.
Yeah, it's a great feeling, man.
Yeah, so
we appreciate the love.
Exactly.
100%.
All the comments, all the likes, all the, you know, everything, man.
That's how you know Raider Nation is real. Because we have a fantasy podcast that we do too, and it took 6-7 months to get the traction that we're seeing on the Raiders podcast. So it's night and day difference, man.
For real.
100%. So we appreciate the love. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all, and just keep us in all your comments and all that, you know.
That's the stuff that gets us juice to get to come back and do these episodes. So it brings us the energy to get back here, especially Mariano. He works long days and stuff. I don't work yet, so I'm looking for a job.
This is our job, man. This is your job.
This is my job for right now, but yeah, definitely that's like so huge compared to the fantasy channel. Like you know, like the biggest video we did, what I say, like 101, one something.
Yeah,
we broke that on this channel in the third video. So that's just crazy.
And I was doing it for 2 weeks.
Yeah, you know. We feel the love, Raider Nation. We're rocking with you. We're gonna be here, you know, until the wheels fall off in this motherfucker. And you know, it's been a pleasure so far. And if you like the content, we know you guys do. Keep on subscribing, keep on commenting, keep on hearting, all that stuff. And we're gonna be here, man. And it's been an honor, and we appreciate you guys. Real Raiders, we're out, man.